Evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of the TDD show. Tonight we have a special guest who is usually a co-host on the Trade Legends show on YouTube, but tonight he is on the receiving end of myself on the TDD show. We have Alex from Unilite. Welcome, Alex. Thank you for coming on, buddy.
No worries, mate. Good to be here.
Good. Nice to see you. So how is everything with you, mate? You all good?
I'm all right. Like I was previously saying to you before, I'm all good. I just need sleep. Sleep would be if somebody can send me like a box of sleep, I'll be all right.
All right then, mate.
Yeah.
Alex has just got a newborn, haven't you, mate? So you're on the newborn stage of fuck me, I've got no sleep.
the Guantanamo Bay, I call it.
I like that, mate. That's good.
The Guantanamo.
So tonight we're going to cover a few different points of yourself, the business, and social media, and so forth. So what I want to ask you first, buddy, is how did Unilite come about? How did it start up initially?
So 1981 is when the business first started, and it was an idea between my mum and dad. My dad was like, he's really good with his hands. So he used to work for BSA, which was like an old bike company. He used to take apart motorbikes, used to keep engines under his bed at home and stuff like that. He was like always into sort of design and engineering, and he'd been working for loads of different companies, but I think at the time he was working for Ford over in Detroit, so he was like doing bits and pieces over there. I think it's something like that anyway. And I think he was just like, I need to do something for myself. And it was sort of, he kept on applying to different countries for different samples. I think he had samples of like tea towels, he had samples of torches, he had samples of like containers, plastic containers. And he was just looking through everything. And then he found this lantern that he had a sample from Korea. And he thought, right, I'm going to go into a shop and see how much these are getting sold for. And I think they were getting sold for £2 or £2.50 or something like that, he said. And he said, I was buying these for 50p. He said, I could buy them for 50p, sell them for £1, and then the store sells them for whatever. So he took all of my parents' life savings, which at the time they were building a house. I think I was just about to be born. They were building a house. They'd literally maxed out on everything, and I think my dad had a lorry container turn up with these products from Korea, and my mum was just like, "What the fuck have you done?"
I was just about to say, your mum was like, "Fucking hell."
Yeah, and she was just like, what is going on? Like, I'm pregnant with second child. We've got like a mortgage on this place. You still haven't finished the house because he was building the house as well at the same time.
Oh God.
And he went out on weekends with all the products, and he'd go to local DIY shops, because it wasn't like big B&Qs back then. It was just a local sort of hardware store. And he went round selling it out the back of his car, and I think he did £60,000 in his first 3 months of sales.
Really?
Yeah. And
done really well straight away.
That's sort of how that sort of formed. And then the business over the years has like completely changed. So what he was doing with my mom and selling into more retail based businesses was when I joined the business, and my sister was actually running the business at the time. We just completely changed all the products and sort of moved into industrial, and realized that actually if you're selling into retail, and retail companies, they'll just be like, well, we want 50%, we want to make this much margin. They screw you on everything. But also with retail compared to sort of the industrial market, is if there's a recession, for you guys, somebody's still going to need the roof fixing, or somebody's going to want an extension building, or their toilet breaks, or the electrics go, or they need
something that can be done.
There's always something to be done. So people will always still spend money on a product. Whereas retail, it's like, well, I haven't got much money this month. I'll leave that till.
Yeah, don't really need that right quite now.
Yeah, so that's why we sort of completely changed where we were aiming for and moved the direction of the business, really.
So you said it's yourself and your sister that are both the
Yeah,
directors.
yeah. So my dad moved to Australia, moved back to Australia. He's over there sunning himself, but he's been there for 26 years. And then my mum and dad got divorced when I think I was about 8 years old.
Oh,
So
okay,
she left the business when I was about 8. And yeah, the old man left when I was 16. So that's, it's about 26 years ago, something like that.
yeah.
And yeah, me and the sister have just been running it for the last probably 15, 20 years.
So I said you've taken a massive step from where you was obviously initially, and then
Yeah.
you've taken it to like the next level now, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, we're in, I think, currently 53 countries worldwide.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
brilliant, mate.
I think when I came into the business, we were probably maybe 4 or 5 countries.
Yeah. So what was that initial step up then to raise it up to the next level then? What was that initial point where it changed?
I just realised we've got a great brand in the UK, but if you ever want to survive in business, you always have to continually improve. And the only way to improve was to grow your market. And if you've only got a set amount of customers and business here,
Yeah.
you have to start then looking abroad. And then we started finding individual distributors abroad. And then, the best thing that ever happened to us was obviously e-commerce sort of blew up.
Oh, yeah.
And also like online ambassadors, influencers, that sort of side of things, the marketing side, like has massively changed our business.
Yeah, it's so important now, isn't it? So when did you initially realise the importance of social media then? Because I said I've only recently started jumping on myself because I've realised the importance of it. So when did that happen to you?
Probably about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So we got on it early, but it was because where the office is based is literally just around the corner is where Gymshark used to have their offices. And I remember watching Ben's videos because I think he was only about 19 at the time, thinking,
that's crazy what he's done, isn't it?
How is this guy who's 19 who looks like turbo emo, managed to get a business like to 20 million? Like I think it was 20 million at the time there.
Yeah, he proper smashed it.
Yeah, I was blown away by it. And then obviously because you're working in the same area, you talk to certain people, they tell you what they're doing and this is what we do here. And I thought, hold on a minute, we've got quite a cool product. Everybody needs a light. So I just reached out to people on Instagram primarily and said, I love your account. I'd love to send you some products. I don't want anything for it. I just love watching your videos and your content. And some of these people at the time had 2,000 followers, but I just loved their content. And then some of them now have got 500,000.
That's nuts, isn't it?
So I just, I personally am really good friends with some of these people. I talk to so many different people on social all the time, and it's not like I don't want anything back from these people. I just love their accounts. I still love them now.
Yeah.
And I still watch people's stories. And I think the main benefit for us with social media was I was seeing live how people were using our product, whereas before I'd have no idea. And also if I was watching people use it in a certain way, I was thinking actually I could add a hook on there, or actually them using it like that, this is going to get damaged, so I can then improve the product. There's so many
that's a good idea for yourself then, isn't it? So you can personally see where you can improve things each time.
Yeah. And it sort of cut out with, like, distributors have been a massive help to us because we supply through them as well. But the main difference is if there's an issue, the distributors don't really know how to handle it because they're not us. Whereas when I'm on social media, if somebody comes through and says, I've got an issue, or if somebody says, I've got a question about a product, I can instantly answer that. And then I can see what's happening in real time.
Yeah, immediately, can't you?
Yeah. And I just feel it's better for a company to be accessible and, available to their customer, because everybody now, you can go and buy something from Amazon for, 20 quid and it can be delivered in 2 hours.
Yeah, and you don't know where it's come from either.
Yeah. So that's
like Amazon, but you don't know where it's personally come from before that or anything, do you?
But I think that mindset now where, I can order that and it's there in 2 hours, people want a response as well within a certain amount of time. But everybody's busy. I don't have to tell you when you're on site and, you're smashing it away all day. you just want somebody to be like, if you send a question, you want somebody to then go, oh, okay then.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
it.
you've got,
to deal with it quickly.
you don't want to have to
off that service, don't you?
Yeah, you don't want to have to chase somebody to get an answer, which a lot of our competitors, I know that when it gets to Friday, they don't answer anything till Monday.
Yeah. That's the difference where you stand out more, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're offering more of a customer service than most people in your industry, aren't you?
Yeah.
So I think personally that helps. Is given that service, you're going one above most other people, so you're offering a lot better service, which is getting more feedback, I think, for yourself. Would you feel the same?
I always feel if I'm not doing it, there's always somebody that's more hungry than me. So, you know, I was really hungry 10 years ago to improve the business. And I think if you don't continue that mindset, there's always going to be, because the older you get, the more tired you get. You know, I'm 40 now, so when I come home, the baby's screaming or whatever, and I'm not getting a good night's sleep, it's easy just to go, I'll answer that tomorrow.
Yeah, as a knock-on effect.
But if you're not answering it, somebody else is. You know, I'm not worried about the people that are established. I'm always worried about somebody that's new, that's coming to market with something that even I haven't seen, because I'm sleeping on something.
That's good. That's good. That is good, that, mate. I said that's good information for someone else. If you got to have a certain mindset to be successful, aren't you?
I just think you firstly you've got to enjoy what you do.
Yeah.
If you don't enjoy it, I mean, like the amount of grief I get on social media sometimes from like people just tossing out a comment, whether it's, you know, whether you've done something or you said something, or you know, we've got a product at the moment. Obviously, we've brought out some knives for tradesmen.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot of knife crime, and you know, people are getting stabbed, losing their lives, and stuff like that. Which, you know, nobody wants that.
No, of course.
And people are coming through to me going, you know, do you realise what you're doing and stuff like that? And I sit there, and everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah,
you know,
you're going to get that no matter what, aren't you?
So you have to listen to that. But if you're not annoying somebody, or you're not doing something like wrong, and somebody's not pissed with you, I don't think that you're working hard enough in my mind. And it's not that I deliberately go out and think, oh, I'm going to make this product to piss a load of people off. It's just I just genuinely love to make products or design products that people love the look of, that they think, wow, look at that, it looks amazing. Yeah. And then when they actually use it, they're like, actually, it's pretty decent
as well. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's no better feeling for me. Like if people say, oh, it's just for the money or whatever, you know, don't get me wrong, that's great. But if you design something, or you offer good customer service, or your product's like first class, then all of that stuff follows. So you don't have to worry about.
All your products look mint. Like I said, there's a certain transition where when you used to tools, you should be bog standard. Then also there's a few people start coming in, and then obviously like yourselves and that, you've made a massive twist on certain things. But your stuff just looks like next level. It looks quality, and it's different as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of brands that like I look at, even Vera Tools, who do everything with the green and the black. And, you know, like people say, oh, your packaging's amazing. I haven't copied Vera, but they were inspiration for looking at like what we could do. Obviously, I looked at Apple products.
Yes.
And I just love, you know, like when you open the box and it slides off and you get that
perfectly fits.
Fresh phone smell, and you peel it off, and it's that whole experience makes you think, bloody hell, this feels expensive.
Yeah.
I wanted the same for our products. So there's loads of real good brands. I mean, like you go to these trade shows and you see like Vera stand, it looks phenomenal. Like the branding superb, and that's the type of thing I want to be classed alongside these brands to say, well, look at what we're doing. You know?
Like I said, branding makes it stand out. It's like a first impression, isn't it? That sticks in people's mind and memorize your brand.
I always got told is like it's all about design. So if you don't make something that catches somebody, it's like a Ferrari.
Yeah.
You know, people want to drive a Ferrari because it's like a work of art.
100%. So do you do all, because you obviously we were speaking a minute ago before going on live, you keep everything in house, don't you? So you do, because obviously your videos and that they're mint.
Yeah.
So you do all that in house as well, don't you? So
all of that stuff, like all the product design, all the packaging, all the artwork, all the like stuff for exhibitions, everything's all done in-house. So we have different people for different parts of it, but I just feel like having it in-house is easier, because if ever there's an issue, I can just walk across the office and say, can you just change that?
Yeah, discuss
and that's where a lot of companies go wrong, is they outsource it to somebody that just doesn't care.
Yeah,
and they time you for every second that you're on a phone or an email. Oh, we sent an email, that's another £50 to reply.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing, isn't it? Because for us as business owners, it's like our baby. You're putting your trust into other people to look at it and think and work the same as you. So, like you said, if you're just outsourcing it to someone who don't really give a fuck, don't really care about it, they're not going to put the same love and care and thought as you are, or someone else that does care.
Yeah, and they don't really know your customer. I mean, we've used agencies before, and they all do let's put posts up about meet the team, and it's like that is fine in certain industries.
Yeah,
but for tradesmen and women, like, no one gives a shit about your team. They just want to see cool stuff. They want to know that it works. They want to know what it does and how it works, and like, where can I buy it?
Yeah,
like, just give it to me.
Give it to me. Yeah, it's the impatience.
No one cares about Alex, who's 40 with buck teeth and he's worked there for 15 years. No one cares.
He's got no fucking sleep. He's knackered.
and he looks like my ass. So tired. Do you know what I mean? Nobody cares about that stuff.
No, mate. So like we were talking a second ago. I didn't realise you've got obviously your own premises that you purposely built, didn't you?
Yeah.
So talk to us about that. How did that initially start? Because you were saying where you were.
Well, we used to be literally just around the corner. There's another estate around the corner, and that was looking a bit old and tired. But we were due to buy the building that we were in, and it all fell through at the 11th hour. The owner sold everything as a block lot rather than selling off individually. And we probably lost about £5,000 in solicitors' fees. So I was cursing at the time. And then it's the best thing that ever happened to us, because I kept driving to Morrison's again, which is around the corner. This block of land was there, and I said to the sister, I said, "This has got to have sold." I said, "Like, I know it's got for sale there, but I said, it's been on for ages."
Yeah.
So she rang up. "Is it still for sale?" And they were like, "Yeah, it's still for sale. Nobody really wants it." And we were like, well, stupidly at the time, we were like, "Yeah, come on, we'll buy it." And then we got everything designed, architect and stuff like that, and just thought we need somewhere that's purpose built for us and for us as a business,
and stuff.
Which the other place wasn't. It's the best thing that happened, because 6 months later we outgrew the other place, and we would have started having to stick products in containers outside, and then you run the risk of somebody breaking it in the container and stuff like that. So it was just, we were literally having to sell products while they were on the boat, because we didn't have space for them for the last 5-6 months of being in there.
So you got plenty. You said you got plenty of land as well, didn't you? So you got plenty of lands for growth. Because I said, talking to you now, I can see where your head is at. You're always thinking about the growth, the next thing that you can do. So you've obviously pre-planned that with the purpose-built building. You've got land around to keep growing.
I want to build a gym there, if I'm honest.
Just for yourself, or?
No, for like the aim with the business is, like, I realise now with the hybrid working from home, is that I want to have the office, because we're international now, where it's open 8 till 8 every day. And say if you work in social media and you're like, well, I've got stuff to do in the morning, you can come in and then work 12 till 8.
Yeah.
Or you can come in and just spend a few hours in the afternoon there. But if we build stuff like a gym there, and we build a bigger studio for trade legends, so we can shoot more content, different types of content, it just makes it a better place for people to come and work in, and then it doesn't really seem like work. The girls keep nagging me that they want like a nail bar in there, so they could all get their
of course they do.
Hair and nails done. But stuff like that, where eventually when the company gets big enough, even if people have got kids and you've got like childcare, all that sort of stuff that we can offer to staff.
Well, mate, that's amazing if you can do stuff like that, because that's the importance. You're thinking about obviously the growth of the company, but then also the people that are working in the company. That's what's getting you to the growth, isn't it?
Yeah, well, if you save them on gym membership. Obviously, we've got electric charge points at work. They can come and charge an electric car for free.
Yeah.
You know, it's basically loads of extra ways where you can actually help the staff save money and enjoy working there where it doesn't seem like work there.
Yes, that's your main thing. Obviously, the important thing to you then is the staff enjoying their work, because then they're going to give you more love into the business, then, aren't they?
I just like trying to keep staff like feeling like they're stretched in the job, but also happy at the same time. Like there's that little rope, and trying to balance that for people, because you can push people too far and then they burn out.
Yeah.
Or you don't push them hard enough and they don't feel like the job's enough for them.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to do is create an environment where people can come and go as they please. They've got perks which are free to them, which help them in their daily life. So, you know, the office is open, sociable hours for anybody. You know, some people can't get out of bed in the morning. We've got a couple of people that roll in at 10. Do you know what I mean? And
people like that, though, aren't they?
Well, some companies, they'd be like, oh, no, you're there at like 8:30, or that's it.
Yeah.
Whereas I appreciate that not everybody's the same. We're trying to find companies where you can go and work and they're like that. It doesn't happen very often. So I've always tried to be slightly different and, you know, understanding for everybody is different that works in the office as well.
That's very good of you, man. That's a good way of thinking. So as you mentioned a minute ago, is about Trade Legends. How long have you been doing Trade Legends for now then?
2 years in August.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
YouTube, isn't it? For people that don't know.
I don't know how Pete's managed to put up with me for 2 years. If I'm honest.
I think if he's watching this back, mate, he's thinking, I'll be struggling. I'll be struggling now.
He'll be like, I don't put up with that.
So, what's your, obviously for people that what's this? Yeah, any questions? Fire away. That's fine. For anybody that doesn't know, mate, what is the main aim for Trade Legends then? What do you do on the show?
So like me and Pete had the idea of doing a podcast probably about 3 years ago. So just before COVID, actually, probably about 6 months before COVID. And I'd got a set design made and all that sort of stuff, and was like, yeah, come on, we'll get it done. And then nothing really happened with it, because I'm always too busy for certain things. And then COVID hit, and weirdly, I'm at home probably first 3 days of COVID, and I'm drinking this beer called Church Farm Brewery beer. And weirdly, the lady who owns the brewery, who's just down the road in Warwickshire, I had her number in my phone because I'd always wanted to do Unilite beers. So I ended up doing
not like a regular drink of a drink.
No. I'd been to my local co-op and was like, bloody hell, this beer's nice. And then I looked at Church Farm. I was like, I've heard that name. And I looked through here on the phone, and the guy who did my wedding suit, because I was due to get married at COVID and then that got cancelled. Yeah. He'd given me the number for this lady because her husband got a suit done there. And ended up bringing her, got some branded beers done, Trade Legends. And I thought, you know what? We'll start the podcast now, because people can come on, drink a builder's crack, or they can have a plumber's plonk.
Yeah, I like them.
You know, and I thought that's now part of it. So we did some merchandise for it, all that sort of stuff, and built the set. And the main aim was, I just like talking to people. You probably notice I talk a lot, but I just like talking to you guys because it interests me, and you always end up educating me on something where I go, why aren't I doing that?
That's it, mate. It's all about networking. You see what other people are doing, you can add stuff to yourself. Well, like you say, just little things like that helps yourself as well, doesn't it? Yeah. But it's nice.
When you're online, you know, you might be the same as me. I talk to that many different people. Yeah. But I mean, we had a couple of guys on Friday, both really nice guys, Mosh and Amdad, or Mdad, that's the one. We had those guys on. Easy Build, his Insta is, and he came on and he was like talking about stuff that he did, his jobs before, and he was like, yeah, I was a bus driver in London. You know, so random stuff like that. When you talk to these people, on like Insta, you never get to know any of that backstory to somebody. So actually, when you do learn those things about people, even SQ2, when I had him on, and he said, oh yeah, I was a contemporary dancer. Oh yeah, well, right. I saw that episode. I didn't. Yeah, it's like you said, things like that you would never know about until you talk to someone like Yeah.
Probably.
So you'd never know he was Billy Elliot until he told us.
Billy Elliot.
but I kept calling him Billy Elliot. But the thing is, it's stuff like that where actually, like, I get to know the person more.
Yeah.
And that to me is probably what helps me make a better product. You know, I'm not doing it to make better products or to like potentially earn money, but I just feel like I understand my audience more.
Yeah, which is important for yourself.
Yeah,
definitely.
You know, what people want, what they don't want.
Yeah, 100%. So there's a couple of lads I've had on. We've been speaking about with stuff like, it's basically you've created a community within Insta. You meet other people, you start talking to them. Everyone's helpful. Any queries or questions, they're willing to help you.
Yeah.
You talk to people that aren't doing that, like locally, they're like, I ain't telling you jack shit, mate, because you want to nick my customers.
Yeah.
Talk to anyone else and help you out.
Yeah, that's the one issue, is trying to get people to share that knowledge. I think like where I've sort of gravitated to Instagram over, say, TikTok and say Twitter, is I find that people are more helpful on there.
100%.
You know, you can put something on Twitter or TikTok and everybody's bashing your work or this is shit or
yeah,
whatever it is.
TikTok, they're all over it.
Yeah, but Instagram, it seems that people they're a bit more happy for you or what you're doing, or they're willing to help. And I just feel like that was another reason with the Trade Legends thing. Pete's obviously a tradesman, so he knows the industry. He's well liked across sparkies, plumbers, contractors.
Yeah.
And I just thought, you know, let's do something where it's not just for one trade.
Yeah,
it goes across all trades, carpenters, plumbers. You know, it seems to work. People seem to enjoy them. I mean, the Spotify at the moment, it's like that. I wish the YouTube was, so I could, you know, get a few more views on there, but maybe people don't want to see my ugly mush on the
not too much
on the YouTube. Yeah.
So can you give us any little hints then of potential new tools that you're thinking of or that are going to come out in 2023?
Got a load of stuff, to be honest. Some workwear. So we're working on some workwear currently. So some jackets, some jumpers, all that sort of stuff. And then the next few bits after that will be some trousers and shorts, which I'm not looking forward to because trousers are a nightmare. So yeah, that's going to be a challenge. So we got that sort of stuff coming. Some more tool bags. Do I give that one away? I've basically got something that every tradesperson uses, which is in their tool bag, which I'm going to sort of semi-change, and people will be like, I didn't even realise I needed that.
Oh, okay.
So I tease that out. I'm not going to say what it is.
No, that's fair enough, mate.
I'll give a clue. It's like part of what it is from a shit boy band back in the 90s. I think it was 90s. Another Level. So
so if anyone gets anything from that,
yeah,
you're doing well.
So there's that. What else we got coming? Some more gloves. So we're working on extra pairs of gloves at the moment. Trying to think what else. Some new multi-tool battery platform lights. So literally they take a Milwaukee, Makita, Bosch, DeWalt.
Oh, okay, that's handy.
Metabo battery. So literally you're on site. So you're on the Metabo platform.
Yeah. Your
battery runs out and you think, well, I need this one from a drill. Has anybody else got a spare? Oh yeah, I've got the DeWalt one. You just slap the DeWalt battery on the back and off you go.
So that's really handy, that is, mate. Like I said, because on site we got 3 different, you know, brands going on here. So like you said, if someone runs out, happy days, you can still carry on.
Yeah.
That's good, that is. That'll be helpful for a lot of people.
Yeah, so we've got probably 5 or 6 of those type of lights coming out.
Oh, decent.
Yeah, and then the aim is to have them all app operated. So say if you come on site and you've left them there, and you know you guys are rocking up at 6 a.m, you can have the whole site illuminated because you set it off your phone or set a time.
That's cool. So like a timer, or automatically turn them on your phone.
Yeah,
that's pretty decent, mate.
And then the next aim is to have them so they're a bit like an AirTag, so you can actually track them. So if somebody does nick them, you know where they are.
Well, we all know what that's like these days, don't we? The importance of that now, because bloody hell, people trying to take tradesmen's fucking tools, ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's a proper high at the minute, isn't it? Especially, I I've seen videos of people actually on site and they're jumping out when they're literally across the road taking stuff from their van. It's absolute joke.
It's only going to get worse, that problem, I think.
Yeah, unless there's little things like you said there, like tags or certain alarms. Alarms need to be a certain. There needs to be a certain alarm that's just manufactured on all vans. It should just be standard fit out.
Yeah, I mean that's another reason why me and Pete sort of started the podcast as well, is that we get to know what stuff people are pissed about, or what they need help with, or what they want to see, what they don't want to see, and like stuff like tool theft. I mean, everybody must have had their tools nicked or knows somebody that's had tools stolen. So that's another thing is, especially Pete has been trying to get van companies to do like a special package for tradespeople where maybe it's got an extra cage inside with a higher spec alarm with tilt sensors and stuff like that, and trying to test to see if people would actually pay for it.
Yeah, of course.
So he's been trying probably for 3-4 years to put pressure on van companies, but to them they don't want to, because it's, they get to fix your van or they get to replace the van because the van got stolen as well as the tools. And
that's a problem, isn't it? One thing that could help stop a lot of worry and stress for other people, but then it's having a knock-on effect of these other companies that are thinking, well, I'm going to lose that bloody money here, so I'm not going to invest in do anything towards that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping as well, because I know Milwaukee do the one key solution stuff. I'm hoping that they start putting it into batteries, because that's where obviously it would be better.
It's easy, batteries, nice, easy.
Batteries, people nick them all the time, but it's one thing where you wouldn't expect to actually have some sort of tracking within the battery. Obviously, if you've got a drill, you'd think, oh, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Especially if it says one key down the side, you get the battery. I'm not going to expect that.
Yeah, you wouldn't be expecting that as much, like you said, as much as the tool. The tool's the first thing you'd be thinking, oh, it's probably got something on there, so we chuck that away into the battery.
Yeah.
So what else? What is your biggest goals then, mate, for 2023? What have you got your eyes set on?
Me personally, like I'm trying to get the company to. I'd like within the next 10 years to hit something like 50 mil. That's what the aim is, turnover wise. And people keep saying to me, you're a lighting company, why are you now selling knives or gloves or safety specs or tape measures? And the thing that I try to say to people is, well, why does any tool brand, why does Milwaukee, that's a power tool manufacturer, now make countless hand tools?
Yeah, exactly the same thing. Because everyone needs, for the growth, you've got to adapt. That is the biggest.
But I always just think, if I can't do something, then I won't do it. But if I feel like I can improve something, then I'll give it a go. I'd probably say 30% of the stuff that I design never gets made, or it gets to production and I can it. And people will think, no, you just do anything. You'll do anything to put your name on something. But 30% of the stuff that I design literally just never sees the light of day.
It's got to make sense, doesn't it, for the business?
Yeah.
So do you just design all stuff yourself then?
Yeah. Me and a girl called Lisa in the office. So I always draw stuff. I'm really, really basic. So I draw designs, and then she'll sort of Adobe Illustrator it, and then I'll potentially get G in the office to maybe 3D model it. And then we send it across to the factories that we use, and then they'll come back with another design, and then I sit there and I draw notes on it. Lisa changes stuff again, it goes back, and this process probably happens maybe 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, it's back and forth, little tweaks, and
then you start getting prototypes, and then you tweak stuff on the prototype. I mean, some products have took me 2 years to make. So when somebody says to me, "Oh, why is your product £60?" which to me it's not a lot of money for what it is.
Quality as well.
But I'll say, like, the testing that it has to go through, because all this stuff that you can buy off Amazon, like if you actually said, have you got a WE report for the batteries, WE legislation, or have you got a electrical test report, or have you got like a report for all the components that are in there, what materials have been used? There won't be any of that. So obviously, if your house burnt down, you're not insured.
Not insured at all. No, that's the problem.
You know, there's no liability insurance on any of these companies because primarily they're from China and they're just sending any old shit over it.
They didn't give two craps, mate.
Yeah. Whereas for us, you know, if I have to put my name on it, I have to make sure that it works. Because if it doesn't work, obviously, you know, stuff goes wrong. Your whole brand goes down the toilet.
Well, you're the first one to be pointed at, mate, aren't you? That's the problem. So, like I said, you've got to make sure it's all good. Right, mate. I want to know something about you. So I want to know what's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you within the business.
Within the business. I don't know within the business, if I'm honest. We don't get many embarrassing things happen, but I think.
Well, personally, then.
Personally.
What are these stories that you thought, fucking hell,
do I give that away? Because I know everybody will be on 4OD trying to find me on TV. Let's just say I was on a TV program.
Oh, was you?
Really embarrassing.
When was it? How long ago was this?
Somebody will be watching and going, yeah, I know which one it is. Plonk it in the comments. I won't say which one it is, but basically I was young, dumb, and a bit of a knob. I still am now, but it's pretty embarrassing. So
was it Undateables, was it, mate?
No. You're not far off there.
So we got a little hint there.
Yeah.
If anyone finds this, drop it over so you can watch it.
Oh god.
I want to see this now, mate. I'm really intrigued.
You don't. Your life will not change from watching it.
Yeah, you're like, Tony, shut the fuck up. You're not going to see it. I'm not going to let you see it. That's it.
So somebody will put it in the comments. I think Pete knows. So if he ends up watching it, he'll probably slam it in the comments.
Yeah, if you're watching it, mate, please let me know. Just give me a message. Send me the link or something, please.
Oh god, terrible.
Well, so let's talk about obviously the business side of things, mate. What would be your best piece of advice then for anyone that's looking to start their own business? Because, like I said, we're not taught these things about business, are we?
Best piece of advice: don't listen to anybody.
Yeah.
Don't listen to anybody, because like in fact, I can't say don't listen to anybody, but be selective with who you listen to. Like, I'm very lucky. I run the business with my sister, so I'm always the one that's like 100 miles an hour. Like, come on, we've got to take over the world.
Keep going, yeah.
Whereas she keeps me grounded. So she will always say to me, worst case scenario. She's like the glass half empty, whereas I'm always glass half full. But she will always say something to me, which then makes me think like that, and I slow down. But you've got to have decent. You have to surround yourself with good people that basically are doing what you want to do or are better at it than what you are. Because otherwise, you can't do everything yourself.
You can't.
But you will get so much noise going, don't do this. Oh, this is shit. This is crap.
Yeah,
you can't do this. You know, most of the time it's from close family where, like, you know, they always say to me, well, what do you see as success? And this is going to, you know, people watching this will be like, oh yeah, this guy just runs Unilite. Like, I want to be a billionaire at some point.
That's
you know, and a lot of people,
that mindset, mate. That's what I like about you. You've got that mindset. You're driven by it.
But a lot of people will go, yeah, what a load of bollocks. It'll never come from Unilite, but obviously people don't know that you start a property business or you do something else, and you know, it never just comes from one thing. But if somebody was to say, you know, like my mum will ask me, what do you want to do then? How do you garner success? Like, in my head, that's me done.
Yeah.
But you know, people laugh. People laugh at what you wish to achieve. There's a guy on Instagram who's all over LinkedIn, and there's a lot of people on Instagram where it's like fake. How do I put it? Fake businesses and fake this and fake that. And there's a guy called Jack Plevin Power, and I always see Jack on LinkedIn, and the progression for him is like I look at the mindset and I get him. Whereas a lot of people think, oh, this guy's just bragging on LinkedIn, but the guy's 100 miles an hour, and that's the type of mindset in my thing. But I surround myself with people like that. He's one of the people that I regularly talk to about business because he gets it.
That's good, man. yeah, you sound exactly like me. I'm like that, 100 miles per hour. You constantly. What I listen to a lot of Grant Cardone. I've listened to a lot of his stuff, but it's about being obsessed, which you obviously are as well. It's about being obsessed, and that's the only way you get growth and progression.
You just have to love what you do and be selective with who you listen to information from. Because if I listen to the noise that comes off my phone, or when I'm on Twitter and people are complaining about stuff, I'd never do anything. I'd be scared to leave my house.
You would 100%, because you're always, no matter what, you're going to get the naysayers, all the haters, no matter what you do. And they're usually, like you said, they're usually close people, friends or family, or they're just jealous people.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people that want to tell you can't do stuff, and I always feel that's because they can't.
Yes, yeah, because they don't have the same drive as you do. They don't want you to do it because they wish they were doing it, basically.
Yeah.
So
which I don't mind. I'd rather people just be like, do you know what? I couldn't do it, but fair play.
Yeah.
And there should be more of that. Like if I meet somebody that I think is successful, or has multiple businesses, or has done something like amazing, even if that's like writing a literature book and it's the #1 bestseller.
Yeah.
Like I want to stand next to that person and sort of rub myself up against them, so some of that luck rubs off on them.
Take some of that knowledge and as well.
Yeah.
You should be. I've always said this for a long time now. You should be praising other people when they've done something. If you're going to knock people, it's only going to come back and piss them off. I don't understand it. You should be. There's enough work for everyone.
Construction is very much like that sometimes, and I don't get why, because we all bang on about mental health and we all bang on about helping each other out. But actually, there's too many people that look from the sidelines who are watching your stories, and then they're bad-mouthing you to somebody else, when really it should just be like, you're a community of people, just help each other out, and actually everybody gets there quicker.
Yeah, well, that's it, because there's enough work for absolutely everyone. You don't need to be one of these greedy bastards. That's not going to help anyone out at all. One person I always praise is Tony from Build with A&E. Since I met him, I spoke to him a few times. He's done several things with me, helped me out with certain bits and bobs. It's just having that.
That's what you want, though. I mean, Tony's been very successful in what he's done.
Yeah, 100%.
And the guys over there do a real good YouTube channel and stuff like that, and it's a good setup. Tony's he's a good guy, works hard, and I just feel like you need more people like that to sort of show you how to do things, because I don't know everything.
You're not going to.
I can sit there thinking I do, but then you need people to sort of guide you. But that's why I always say, make sure whoever's around you has gone before you. Yeah. And you don't copy what somebody else has done, but you do what they've done and then try to do it better or add something onto it, because it's a different time. Like we interviewed Charlie Mullins, who owned Pimlico Plumbers. Yeah. And I think he sold his business for, I think it was 200 million.
I was going to say, yeah, it's just over, wasn't it, or just under?
Yeah, 200 mil. And then listening to him talk, and it's sort of like, again, his mindset was like, I brand everything. Like, people tell me I can't do something, so I do it. And it's just, you find a lot of people want to have those things, but then they don't want to sacrifice other things. People don't realise, like my wife's upstairs, she's not very well, the baby's in there and she's been up all night, and then I have to get up at 5. I talk to China for 2-3 hours, and all the other factories, Taiwan, Korea, all that sort of stuff. So I spend 3 hours doing that. Then I go to work after dropping my son at school, and then come back, and it's just
that's the thing people don't see, mate. They're the first people to judge you, saying, "Oh, he's doing all right for him. Look at him showing off." But they don't realise you're working your fucking ass off behind the scenes that no one sees. But they're the first people to judge you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really, my wife will say she's an Instagram widow. I'm always on social media, but I feel like I have to for trying to provide what I class as a good life for us all, and to ensure that all my staff have all got a job all the time.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's another thing that, like, you know, I get people get annoyed because they might have a faulty product or they might have had shit service from us. Like 9 times out of 10 they haven't. But you know, if ever there's an issue, I just want people to sit there and think, do you know what? Like the stuff that goes on that everybody doesn't see.
Yeah.
Just always talk to people as you wish to be talked to. Basically, don't come on and be like, oh, this fucking bollocks, you lot are a load of blah blah blah. You know.
100%. Yeah, going 100 miles per hour, just slating you for no reason, and you don't realise what's gone on or anything.
No, sometimes it's deserved. Do you know what I mean? We don't get everything right, but I just feel sometimes with social media is that people are very like absorbed.
Yeah.
And they don't, you know, like obviously if you were doing a job and it went wrong, as long as you put that thing right.
I said, yeah.
No one's died.
Yeah, there's no.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
But if you leave it, obviously it's completely different. But
yeah.
you offer a customer service that you're going to rectify stuff, and you know what I mean. You're not going to just say to them, "Fuck off, mate. You've got it now. You've paid for it, or whatever." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I always think you judge a company by how they sort issues. That's the main thing.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Well, mate, it's been a pleasure having you on. I'm going to arrange some other time to have a proper catch up with you properly, because I said talking to you
I'll
tonight.
have to get you on the podcast with Pete. You can watch him do a handstand in the office. That's his new thing at the moment.
As long as his clothes on, it's fine.
Oh mate, he came in on Friday and he says, "Watch this." I said, "What?" He says, "I've had a lesson on how to do a handstand." I went, "You what?" And he says, "I paid £45 to some woman to teach me how to do handstands." And I was like,
"Really?"
I was like, "Pete, was she fit?" And he didn't answer. So I presume he just paid £45 to, you know, over there. And
that was it.
He was doing a handstand in the office, and I was like, "You paid £45 for that? You could just go on YouTube."
Mate, I love that.
So,
45 quid, I can do a handstand, and that's it.
He's always doing something random, whether it's paddle boarding or he's, you know, running marathons or learning how to do a handstand. He's sort of ultra random.
Yeah, I think that's the next level random, that is, mate.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, mate, it's been a pleasure. I said I love talking to you because you've got a similar mindset to myself, and I love talking to people like that. Like I say, bounce off each other, get different ideas. So we'll arrange something at some point soon, mate. But you, it's just under Trade Legends, isn't it? So if anyone wants to check out your podcast on your YouTube,
at Trade Legends, yeah.
Perfect.
And on Instagram.
Yeah. So
I don't plug it enough, if I'm honest. I should do. It should just be Trade Legends everywhere. I should be there with my hoodie on, but I'm one of them.
So yeah, if you want to see Unilite, if you haven't already, check them out on Instagram and LinkedIn as well, and Facebook.
LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok,
everywhere.
Like gonorrhea.
Because their products are they're amazing. So yeah, head over there, check them out, give them a shout, and we will see you next week with next week got a special on next week. We have a 3-way, so stay posted for that. And Al, nice to see you, buddy.
I'm just disappointed I'm not involved in a 3-way.
When I come down to you, mate, it'll be a 4-way. So
you can tell I'm from Birmingham. I'm from the gutter.
Well, I usually am, mate, but I'm trying to be a little bit professional.
I've just downgraded the show.
No, that's what it's all about, mate. It's all about having fun in it. That's what it's all about. You can't be too serious all the time. That's what's the fun in that.
All good, mate. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Right, you take care, buddy, and hope the family stays well and you're all safe, mate. All right.
All right. Thanks, mate.
Take care, dude.